Good morning. Beautiful Friday here in Ohio. We got a little crazy hair going on. Decided to go a little natural. It's still drying. Okay, today we're gonna go fast because we've got lots of things. We have a little bit of a fail, but it's in, I was duped. I'll explain that in a minute. But I am making chocolate chip cookies and bagel bites. So we're gonna start with the bagel bites because I've already got things going here, okay? This is, well, it's supposed to be 1 cup of cottage cheese. Of course, I wanted to blend it because I like it smooth. I don't like those chunky bits. So it is 1 cup of blended cottage cheese or Greek yogurt. And once I get these into the air fryer, I'm going to explain to you. I use my favorite Fage Greek yogurt. You all know by now, it's my favorite. 15 grams of protein. Nothing bad, right? So 1 cup of Fage Greek yogurt, 1 egg. Of course, we live in the country, so got my neighbor's eggs. Now this, and this is what I was worried about. This is a little wet, I think. So it's supposed to be a 1/2 cup of almond flour. 1/2 cup of almond flour, okay? And then I have been playing around because I'm all about texture. And when I recreate the healthy stuff, I don't like the texture of all almond flour. So I have been playing with macros and trying to get a better texture out of baked goods. And I have found that that combination is almond flour and organic oatmeal flour, okay? And make sure you get gluten-free oats. Not all oats are gluten-free. So that is, it was supposed to be 1/2 cup almond flour, 1/4 cup of the oat flour. I ended up using a 1/2 cup of each, okay? So a full cup of flour. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a pinch of salt, and then we're going to use a little everything bagel seasoning, okay? So supposedly these, now of course I didn't test these out. I'm using my big cookie scoop thing here. They're supposed to be 6 to 8 minutes in the air fryer at 325, okay? Or about 12 to 15 minutes in the oven at 350, okay? And I'm gonna post these recipes. So I am using, and this scoop is actually perfect for a bagel bite. So we're gonna do this real quick so we can throw them in the oven, and then I'm going to talk to you about the little, how I was duped marketing. You know, you never know what you're getting, and it's really annoying. It is really annoying, and I can't get this lid off here. Damn it. Lives. You never know what's gonna happen, right? Okay, so we're gonna, and I like a lot of everything seasoning. So we're going a little heavy on this, okay? Okay, so that's what it looks like. I'm gonna pop these over here in my air fryer. And yes, that's what that noise is. It's a little annoying, but guess you gotta deal with it, right? Okay. Ooh. All right. So we'll check them at 6 minutes, see if that works. Now, so the texture thing, okay, and I think you can all agree with me, you know, and that's all of the bad things that they put in baked goods. You know, you can't even go to a bakery and get legit clean baked goods. And when I say clean baked goods, I'm talking just no chemical soup garbage in it. So by now you know that I talk about good, better, best. So best is balanced macros, no gluten, no sugar. That's best. But we're not ever going to be good 100% of the time. So you need to control what you can. Bakeries, they are always using most likely high fructose corn syrup, some type of carrageenan or additives to give you a nice smooth mouthfeel, okay? And that's what's also in a ton of protein powders to make the texture good, a thickening agent, things like that. So when I teach things, we talk about, healthy gut, cleaning up the gut. Don't put things in there that cause inflammation or break down the gut. And the three biggest offenders are sugar, anything that turns into sugar, and gluten, and dairy for some people. So the list of really 4 things, right? But that's one thing. That's when you're eating whole natural foods. That's what you want to avoid. Then you have the chemical soup that I call over here. So when you're using anything that has additives, especially if you're eating fat-free or sugar-free foods, when they take fat and sugar out of food, they put chemicals in it because fat and sugar tastes good. Hi, Paula. Fat and sugar taste good. So they're going to put something else in there to replace it so it tastes good. And usually it's a bunch of crap, which I call chemical soup. Okay, so my husband went to the store yesterday. He's a lovely, wonderful man. And of course, ladies, if your husbands are like mine, unless I'm extremely specific about what aisle, what brand, what everything, I said cottage cheese. And I never have cottage cheese, although there is a brand called, oh my gosh, I totally forget. But for some reason, it disappeared from the store shelves. It was higher protein, it had higher probiotics. It was like a good for you or good fit or something like that. It was a beautiful, clean cottage cheese. It was not as wet as some, but for some reason, and it's funny because I hear a lot of people complaining about this, you can't find it anywhere. So regardless, I prefer, and I know I talked about this on one of my lives before, but the whole thing about blending cottage cheese, right? So I'm thinking that's a pain. It's like one more step to do, right? I'm blending cottage cheese just to make it smooth. Boy, that is the same texture as Greek yogurt. And when you compare, Greek yogurt actually has a little more protein in it. And easy decision, right? One less step. So, but I wanted to try to be true to the recipe I was playing with. And you know by now that I take recipes I find on social media, I find wherever, and I redo them and play with them to get my macros that I like, 35 protein, 35 healthy fat, and 30 carbs, with the best combination of flours I prefer to get the texture I like. And so far, the winner is half almond flour, half oat flour. Okay. So my husband comes home with cottage cheese, full fat, small curd cottage cheese. What could be wrong with it? Well, you look at the label. We've got cultured non-fat milk, milk cream. Okay, so far so good. Now we have maltodextrin, guar gum, citric acid, carrageenan, mono and diglycerides, locust bean gum, natural flavors. Now, natural flavors is one of those catch-all things. Natural flavors can be anything. Very often, it is an MSG, a monosodium glutamate something formulation, okay? And again, I wrote an article about MSG It is horrible. If you can avoid it, two things I have hard stops on are high fructose corn syrup and MSG, okay? For good reason. If you want the article, DM me or put a comment, I'll drop it in here for you. There are 11 or 14 different names for MSG, and most of them sound really healthy and, you know, really innocent, but they are not. Carbon dioxide, enzymes, potassium sorbate. So the most concerning ones, guar gum, carrageenan. Carrageenan is a thickener that is so not good for you. And locust bean gum. I mean, come on. So I hate to waste food and I hate to throw this away, but I'm not eating it. I'm not letting anyone eat it. So that's pretty sad. Now, 6 minutes. Oh, guys, I like these. And I didn't even talk about my cookies yet. Okay, that was fast. Okay, 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Okay, you see these? Oh my gosh, and they smell delicious. Okay, they're gonna have to go in a little bit more because they're a little doughy in there. Okay, so I'm gonna throw them in. The recipe is, I think I told you, we've got one, okay, we have, it was, and I'm glad I added the extra flour, 1 cup of Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. Read your label because not all cottage cheese is created equal. 1 egg. We ended up a 1/2 cup of almond flour and a 1/2 cup of organic oat flour. So 1 and 1 for the yogurt or cottage cheese and the flour. 1 teaspoon baking powder and a pinch of salt, and then the everything bagel seasoning. These puffed up so nice. I think they're gonna be delicious, and the whole kitchen smells amazing. And to get a bagel bite, oh man. And the macros, let me share the macros. 5 grams of fat, and of course, we have healthy fat from our egg and our yogurt. 7 grams of protein, and actually, that's from the cottage cheese, so it's a little bit more because we bumped up that protein a little bit better, and 2 grams of net carbs. Winner, winner. Oh, I love it. Okay, now, let me show you. I have been in search of a chocolate chip cookie recipe that, you know, pretty much if my grandkids will eat it, it's a win, right? Because that's the trick. Replacing the bad stuff for healthy-ish stuff. Okay, so here are the chocolate chip cookies. And you, again, I can't tell you how many okay recipes, but this one at this moment is the winner. And again, I don't have time to do all this in my 15-minute live, so I did these yesterday. They were delicious. It is, and I'm gonna post the recipes, but again, it's a combination. It's 2 cups of almond flour and then a 1/4 cup of oat flour. I am not a fan of coconut flour. I think it gives a gritty texture to everything. Not a fan. And replacing it with oat flour really does not change the macros. So almond flour, oat flour, baking soda, salt. I use grass-fed butter. You could use coconut oil. So totally depends on what you have, whatever. And then you all know allulose for the win, man. Allulose, so it's 3/4 of a cup of allulose, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then you can add some cream cheese. I did not. Cream cheese helps to give it a little more texture. These are pretty soft. They're like that soft bake stuff that you can buy in the store. Absolutely delicious. 11 grams of fat, 3 grams of protein, and 2.5 net carbs. So again, we are always looking for the balance between carbs and protein. We're there. And you know I use my Spring and Mulberry chocolate. My favorite, I chop up the date-sweetened chocolate. And I'm telling you, the winner And now I've been using allulose as a sweetener pretty much exclusively, probably for the last year or so. Zero glycemic impact, zero sugar spike, and the taste, honestly, you cannot tell the difference. It does not taste fake at all. All natural, nothing contributing to chemical soup, so yay. I'm gonna try these again because I gotta go. I gotta run, change clothes, and quickly do a consult. And it is 9:15. So everyone, I will post these recipes in a bit. These are a winner. These are a winner. I will tell you what they taste like, but Lord, they smell amazing. Okay, so 2 winners today, Bagel Bites and chocolate chip cookies. So Ken and I will be enjoying feeling like we're splurging this weekend, but we're not. We're being good. All right, I'll post the recipes. Enjoy. I will see you on Monday. We're talking about blood sugar stability all month. Enjoy.